3 words to describe your style.
Old school counts as one word. I would say old school, vintage, Western. This look basically comes from, vintage, kind of 80s-esque with a cowboy Western spin on it, really, I'd say. Going to the hat, I bought that hat while we were in Nashville this off season, and that's an open crown hat. So you can kind of tell from this picture how it's not really formed, but you can see how that's kind of an open crown. That band is like a tribal band. You could say like some type of Pendleton type design. And then, I'm not sure what feather I have in there. And then that's a horsehair band as well. Kind of like a higher waisted jean, but it's like a dressier denim from, I want to say Wranglers, yeah. They're a little tight. Those are Tecovas boots. They call those the Marshall. Those are my special boots. Those are like the full Cayman boot. I really like those. The belt I bought last year while we were in Las Vegas from a place called Kimosabi, and they customized the belt. So it's kind of like a, I want to say like a Mexican heritage. Kind of has the sombrero, the pistol with a, margarita in one hand, dice, 7. It's like a white and yellow gold buckle. Yeah, that's the Rolex Batman. That's one of my favorite watches that I have. A shirt, just a plain Abercrombie shirt. Actually, it's nothing crazy. I actually bought that to go to Cabo. Didn't really like the way it was fitting, so I ended up with that. Glasses are Prada glasses I just bought at the mall the day before. I wore this. I really like that type of tortoise color. But yeah, you can kind of see like on the hat and how the horsehair kind of changes different colors. It's one of my favorite hats that I've made so far, and I love the boots. You can kind of sub feathers. I was actually golfing this year, and I was pretty bummed about it. I found this super cool feathers. It was really like a lighter orangish color, and I put it in my truck because I shipped my truck back and forth from Oklahoma, and I lost it. And I was calling my mom. I was like, you gotta search around the house and yard to see if you can find this feather. So I had my mom running around looking for feathers outside. But yeah, I enjoy putting those in my hat sometimes. I would say I'm kind of just blazing my own trail. I've never really seen, there's obviously like true Western where they have like the old floral shirts, the pearl snaps, the cowboy hats, square-toed boots, the blue Wrangler jeans that have like, a crap ton of starch on them and stuff like that. I love that style. I have a hat that says Caviar Cowboy, which is very fitting sometimes, I think. I kind of like to be I call it like high-class cowboy sometimes. Sometimes I'll wear like regular t-shirts that I've had forever. A lot of the time I wear athletic wear like I'm wearing now, usually a ball cap that's snapped back or something like this. A lot of golf hats. Sometimes I definitely dress like a golf dad or something like that, some would say. But, if I'm traveling for a game, sometimes I won't always get dressed up because boots on a plane sometimes suck, especially if it's a 4-hour flight. So I'll wear like some just regular tennis shoes, some, nice pants and a collared shirt. If you, you play in a game, you come up the next day, you're not gonna get really dressed up for too much stuff. You're pretty sore and don't wanna be wearing boots and jeans everywhere. Playing quarterback and stuff in high school was fun. Yeah, I went to a small school. I graduated with like 45 people. So the exposure for football was not that great. I had one offer to Tulsa and I was signed as an athlete, which means we don't really know what we're gonna do with you yet, so we'll figure that out. I knew at a higher level, the offensive players are usually the hitty and not the hitter. So getting hit all the time on offense wasn't fun.
I wanna know if number 12 survived.
No, yeah, number 12 did not survive. So that's like what the exposure that I'm talking about. When coaches were coming to, ask me and watch me, the competition was a lot smaller. Didn't throw very much. I was more of a running QB for sure. But when it was time to throw, I always enjoyed it. We ended up winning this game. This was a big game for us. But yeah, no, he didn't survive, I don't think. So on the field, yeah, so this is kind of like, I guess, the quarterback at the time. You got the wristband to keep your hands dry. I got the play call on my left, quarter sleeves. Obviously the tights, that's pretty normal. But that's just kind of plain Jane quarterback at the time, I'd say. And then here, this next picture in the league, that's just basic as it can be, you know what I mean? I think it looks good, but some guys give me, they tell me I need to put something on. I've just never been that guy. I feel like it's sometimes too many accessories, like I'm worried about too much stuff, dealing with too much stuff. If I ever had turf burns and stuff, I'd tape the back of my arms, but I wasn't doing that for no reason at all. You have some guys that are taped up on the back of their arms, they got the wristbands on, stuff like that. See, for me, that's just too much to worry about. I enjoyed just playing loose, playing free, you know what I mean? That type of style for sure. Yeah, so unique about this is, one, I borrowed those cleats because I thought, man, everyone's giving me hell about the cleats I wear. So I decided to wear those Jordan 1 cleats, and then obviously I wanted to incorporate kind of my style of off the field onto picture day. So I wore my all black kind of like cowboy hat, gambler hat. It's got the silver band around it. I really enjoy that. But yeah, and it's kind of just like, you know, I'm just sitting there sleeping or whatever. I don't know, it's kind of funny. I thought it was funny. It ended up being a pretty cool picture. This fit was actually made because we used to not be able to dress up before games. At Tulsa, we'd all have to wear the same like tracksuit. So this game, all the captains went to the coach and were like, hey, can we dress up before this game? And he was like, yeah. So he told us like 2 days before. So I go to the mall, I think I buy this entire suit for like 150 bucks. Super cheap suit. Borrowed the Gucci shoes for sure. Already had the belt, and then had this dude custom like tailored it to me as best as possible. But I did basically this whole thing around the overcoat. That overcoat is my grandfather's overcoat, and it is probably twice as old as me, 3 times as old as me. It's a very old coat. I have it somewhere in my closet, and you can look up the company that's on the tag. It's no longer, you can't find it anywhere. I've tried to. So it's a very, very old coat. It's like the old New York classic, like kind of mobster coat. But yeah, that's kind of what I based that fit around, even though it doesn't seem like it. I enjoyed that coat a lot though. Basically, when I got here to Arizona, like the way I spoke and stuff, everyone was like, you know, super hick, country type lingo that I spoke. Always listen to country music, so they just call me like cowboy. It's like, man, I might as well just roll with it. And so I kind of wore it as a joke, plus also I really enjoyed it. And then it kind of just has stuck since then. So I've always worn stuff like this now. But I enjoy this, yeah, the Gucci shirt, that old like George Strait hat. That's a George Strait style type hat, yeah. Yeah, so this is like first getting into the league, and I would say trying to dress streetwear, I would say that's not a very good, I got black jeans on, very green shoes, and like a teal colored shirt. Really probably don't know what's going on here, but it is streetwear. That's probably the last time I've ever worn those jeans and those shoes, to be honest. Those shoes are just sitting in the closet. I have a bunch of shoes that I bought, you know, kind of just get to the league, kind of probably got into something that I really didn't, you know what I mean, really understand, like shoe-wise. I'd always just wore basic shoes. So I bought a bunch of shoes and then never wore them. So I got a bunch of Travis Scott shoes. These are Dunks right here, but they're like lot Dunks, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah. And then that hair impression shirt, I actually do, so this is like the type of, I do have a couple times that I've worn like a designer shirt like Hair Impression. It's one of my favorite streetwear brands, but I'll wear that with like maybe blue jeans and like those, the boots from here. Like the boots in this picture are like suede boots. So I'll wear that with this shirt and just make it, you know what I mean? Like a streetwear from here up, and then from here down is kind of like Western. So it's fun to wear like that. It's a blend. I definitely blend it for sure. More than I probably should. I've just never been a guy that's dressed to, I would say, the updated fashion, I would say. So I'm definitely old school for sure. I have my ways, and that's about it. I don't like wavering from that too much. I really enjoy the way I dress.